And now let's go back to Tony's and see where Mr. Crab came from.
In case you don't already know, crab is my favorite seafood. I'll need plenty to make my crab meat special. Tony's Seafood in Baton Rouge has some real beauties. Let's go talk to Steve LeBlanc.
Well, now, Steve, what kind of crabs are these?
This is a Louisiana blue crab,
Blue
Miss Lucy.
crabs, yes.
And you can see right now, we're starting to come in season pretty soon. That one's missing a claw, but we got some nice looking stuff right here.
Beautiful. Well, I tell you what, Steve, they sure look good to me.
Let's go cook them up.
Let's.
I'm ready.
How long? Well, Steve, actually, this is the beautiful Louisiana crabs, right?
Yes, they are. They are
Right.
our domestic crabs. They come off our Louisiana coast. And right now, if you can see, they just now starting to run fairly decent. These are the male crabs. Right now, we're not carrying any female crabs. You can tell the difference by the back and the stem. A female will have a wider base and a very short stem. And this is a male crab with a longer base and a long stem.
But they both taste the same.
They do taste the same. Most people prefer to eat the males. I'm not exactly sure why, but
No eggs.
exactly.
No
Thank you.
eggs.
It's a female will know that.
Right.
Miss Lucy, you can see right here, this crab is a good bit tan or getting a slight brownish color. Now this is an indication that this crab is going to be full and full of a lot of meat from them working on the bottom and eating on the bottom of the ground, if you feel that. Now this would be a crab that is not so very full, and when you have the crabs for picking and eating that aren't full, a lot of people will take these particular crabs, clean them up, and put them in their gumbos.
Right. Well, I tell you, I love crabs boiled, fried, any kind of way you can see. That's my favorite seafood.
Well, it's one of our favorite delicacies in Louisiana, and we're really proud to serve them.
Oh, it's wonderful. I just love them. Let's see how these are boiled, right?
Yes, ma'am. This is a boiled crab.
Well, let's see if we can.
And the claws are some of the prime meat.
Well, now you know I use crab meat, the claws, to put in the gumbos.
Yes, ma'am.
It's wonderful. It's delicious. Yet it's not as expensive. And then for my etouffees and all, I just use the lump, but not the jumbo lump.
The back fin. That would be called the back fin.
Right. And then, of course, for the au gratins, we use the big lump.
Yes, ma'am. And that lump crab meat, it's a little pricey, but it's makes a special great topping on baked fish. You can use it in a light sauce.
Wow. Look at the meat in there.
There you go, Miss
Yes.
Lucy. Why don't you try that?
Ooh,
pull
try that.
Pull that right out of there and eat that. Should come right out.
Delicious. C'est bon, chef.
There you go.
As I told Steve, I like to eat crabs no matter how you cook it. I can eat them boiled, like these beautiful babies. I love them hot out of the boiler and ready to crack. I like them cold and eat them in a salad, like my crab stuffed tomatoes. Or I use that delicious crab meat in hot dishes like the crab meat special we made today. Crab meat comes in several different forms. Jumbo lump, which has the largest pieces, back fin, which is white pieces of crab that are smaller than jumbo, and claw meat that is dark and rich in flavor. Sometimes, for a change of pace, I'll eat soft-shell crabs like the one we saw at the Crescent City Farmers Market in New Orleans. A soft-shell crab is a recently molted crab that hasn't yet formed a new hard shell. It's a seafood delicacy, and almost 95% of the crab can be eaten. I like to take out the gills and lungs before preparing mine, of course. The blue crab, soft-shell crab season usually lasts from May to July. Hard-shell crabs are available year-round, but I think folks like them most in the summer when they're usually the fattiest and the sweetest. Did you know that crabs are extremely high in vitamin B12, with just 3 ounces of crab meat having a full daily allowance? Well, I never met a crab I didn't like, to eat that is. Thank goodness I have plenty of recipes that use this seafood delicacy. When it comes to seafood, you can never be too careful. Buy crabs or other seafood only from reputable sources. Buy only fresh seafood that's refrigerated or properly iced. Don't buy cooked seafoods such as crabs if they're displayed in the same case as raw fish. Cross-contamination can occur. Don't buy frozen crabs if the packages are open, torn, or crushed on the edges. Put seafood on ice in the refrigerator or in the freezer immediately after buying them. Here are some good tips for storing perishables, like crabs. If seafood will be used within 2 days after purchase, store it in the coldest place of the refrigerator, usually under the freezer compartment or in a special meat keeper. Allow air to circulate freely around the package. Otherwise, wrap the food tightly in moisture-proof freezer paper or foil to protect it from air leaks and store it in the freezer. Discard shellfish such as crabs if they die during storage or if their shells crack or break. Here are some common sense tips to keep in mind when you're preparing seafood like crab. Wash hands thoroughly with hot soapy water before and after handling any raw food. Thaw frozen seafood in the refrigerator. Gradual defrosting overnight is best because it helps maintain quality. If you need to thaw food quickly, seal it in a plastic bag and immerse in cold water for about an hour, or microwave on the defrost setting if the food is to be cooked immediately. Marinate food in the refrigerator, not on the counter. Discard the marinade after use because it contains raw juices, which may harbor bacteria. Never allow cooked food to come in contact with raw products